Call the Owatonna City Council meeting to order for Tuesday, November 15th. May we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Svenby.
Here.
Dotson.
Here.
Okaberg.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
Burbank.
Here.
Rainey.
Here.
Abraham.
Here.
Mayor Kuntz.
Here.
And Student Rep Aaron Stephenson. Here.
Thank you. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone here tonight for this meeting, and we do have one correction. The address on 3.1.1 is 216 instead of 416. Other than that, the agenda is the same as presented. Looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Brent Svenby to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Greg Schultz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. Now, in keeping with my concept of succession planning, this will be my third to the last meeting, and I would be looking for someone on the council that will be continuing to, if they are interested in this position as president of the council, would give them the opportunity in the next two meetings to try it out to see how it fits, and let us know, let Chris know, let myself or Tom know if there is an interest. But I will conduct this meeting as that is planned at this point. So, moving on to the first item, 1.5, canvass of the 2016 city elections, and we'll go to Chris.
Thank you, Les. The purpose of tonight is to have the council canvass the returns and declare the results. The council serves as a canvassing board for all city elections. We meet publicly to canvass the returns by reviewing the abstract and the write-in reports, and those are provided for you at your desks. And as you see there, the results are as proposed there. We are required to review these 3 to 10 days after the general election. If you have any concerns or questions about the report, we can discuss them. Jeanette is here. She's also helped during the election. When you are satisfied that these reports are correct, then council would pass the resolution declaring the results as official.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions from the council? What is the council's wishes?
Motion to accept the results.
We have a motion by Nate Dotson to accept the results. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff Okaberg. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. Thank you. Moving on down to the financial report, and I'll ask Councilmember Greg Schultz to read the financial report.
Expenditures presented for approval tonight are as follows. Checks over $20,000 are $34,615 to Daybreak Building Company for 325 North Cedar, which is an SCDP grant work. $25,994 to OPG 3 Laserfish. That's 50% down for document management software, licenses, and equipment. Other expenditures of $224,597 makes a subtotal of $285,206. To that, we had the HRA Section 8 payments of $70,864, making a total expenditures presented for approval tonight of $356,070.93.
Thank you, Greg. Any questions from the council?
Motion to pay the bills.
A motion by Kevin Rainey to pay the bills. Do we have a second to that?
Second.
Second by Nate Dotson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved also. Moving down to consent agenda items, which are minutes of meetings, board record, individual requests, department reports, etc., grouped into one motion. What is the council's wishes on this?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Brent Svenby to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave Burbank. Any further discussion on any of these? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? These have been approved. Moving down to action items, we've got 3.1.1 to relocate to 216 North Cedar Avenue, downtown Tobacco. And this will go to Chris.
Thank you, Les. I have recently been given some information that will require me to ask the council to table action on this item. I need to review some issues with the city attorney in relations to this request. So I'd ask for council approval to table action on this item for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, okay. So we're looking for a motion to table.
So moved.
Motion by Nate Dotson, second.
Second.
Second by Greg Schultz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. We will table that for our next meeting in December. Moving down to 3.2.1, second reading of proposed ordinance 14-16, license fee for brew pub and brewer tap rooms, and this will go to Mark.
No changes from the previous.
No changes, okay, and that would be for both of them?
Yes.
Okay. With that, we'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve.
The motion by Jeff Okerberg to approve 3.2.1. Do you have a second to that?
Second.
Second by Dave Burbank. Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is being an ordinance. Ask for roll call.
Councilmember Svenby.
Aye.
Dotson.
Aye.
Okerberg.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Burbank.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
Abraham.
Aye.
All 7 ayes.
This has been approved, and this being the second reading, this has now been through the final process. So moving on down to the second reading of proposed ordinance 15-16, fee for background investigation, fee, brew pubs, and brewer tap rooms. And what is the council's wishes on this?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Kevin Rainey to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Greg Schultz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
This is
Sorry,
also
this is
a roll call.
Roll call again. So ask for roll call.
Councilmember Svenby.
Aye.
Dotson.
Aye.
Okerberg.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Burbank.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
Abraham.
Aye. This has been approved also, and this is the second reading, so this is now in, as it should be. Moving down to 3.2.3, first reading of proposed ordinance 16-16, zoning request from Summergate Investments at 2447 26th Street, and this will go to Troy.
Yeah, this is a request by Summergate Investments to rezone property, which is in an AO agricultural open space zoning district to a B2 community business district. This is the southwest corner of 26th Street, Northwest and 24th Avenue. Currently, there is a large home on the property. In fact, it was annexed in a couple years ago for the fact that they wanted utilities to the house. They now are preparing the property for future development, and they would like to market the property as commercial property, and thus they're requesting the rezone change. They have done some preliminary concept plans of possibly high-density apartments and commercial lots on there. That'll be yet to be determined. Basically, they want to just market the property right now. We did have a public hearing. No one objected to the request, and therefore staff would recommend approval as per the Planning Commission for this zone change request.
Thank you, Troy. Questions from the council? Seeing none, what is the council's wishes?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Greg Schultz to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave Burbank. Any further discussion on this? Seeing none, this being an ordinance, ask for a roll call.
Councilmember Svenby.
Aye.
Dotson.
Aye.
Okerberg.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Burbank.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
Abraham.
Aye.
All 7 ayes.
Thank you. This has been approved for the first reading, and we will look forward to the second reading at the next council meeting. Moving on down to 3.2.4, first reading of proposed ordinance 17-16 to modify sanitary sewer rates, and this will go to Kyle.
Good evening. Before you, I'm proposing, we're proposing a 3% increase to sanitary sewer rates. This would be both for the base rate and for the flow charge or the usage charge. We feel it's prudent to raise rates on an annual basis versus having less frequent higher cost increases. I estimate the cost of this to the average residents will be about $4.50 to $5 per year. So less than 50 cent a month impact to the average residential ratepayer. I'm available for any questions, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Kyle. Questions from the audience, council?
Motion to approve?
I have a question. Would this include the remodels that we talked about down there as far as making it more efficient or not?
So, well, more would be available cash-wise to complete those projects.
Okay, thank you.
When we've looked at cash flow against the projects we have planned, our cash actually goes down or depletes some. So we're trying to plan ahead and stay in a good financial position.
Thank you.
Good. Still a motion by Nate Dodson to approve. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff Okelberg. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Council,
Opposed?
this is also
Oh, again, this is an ordinance. So we'll look for a roll call.
Councilmember
Sorry about that.
Svenby.
Aye.
Dotson.
Aye.
Okelberg.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Burbank.
Aye.
Rainey.
Aye.
And Abraham.
Aye. Again, sorry about that one.
It is for ordinances now?
That's it
Yes,
for
it
the
is.
ordinances
That's it.
tonight.
Now we move down to resolutions. 3.3.1, Resolution 100-16, and the modified parking restrictions on North Oak Avenue, and this will go to Troy.
We have, the next three items are all parking change requests, and this first one here is along North Oak Avenue, north of Rose Street. We have some 30-minute parking stalls on the east side of the road there. Mainly that was put in for when we had the Rose Street Pizzeria for pickup and delivery. That business is no longer there, and with the blast and the black sheep there, there's a greater need for more of the 2-hour parking. And so we're requesting that 30-minute parking be changed to 2-hour parking. We did have a downtown parking committee meeting, although we did not have a quorum, but those that were in attendance did support this change. So staff would recommend approval of the parking change request.
Thank you. With that, any questions from the council? What is the council's wishes on this?
Motion to approve?
A motion by Kevin Rainey. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff Okelberg. Any further discussion there? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on down to the second one. This has been approved. Second one is Resolution 101-16, to modify parking restrictions on South Oak Avenue. Again, Troy.
So this is on the east side of Oak Avenue, north of Rice Street. And this is a 20-hour parking currently, and our general parking philosophy is those public parking on the outskirts of downtown would be your most 24-hour parking, your longest term parking, and then as you get into more of the core of the downtown, it lessens to that 2-hour parking. So to follow that philosophy, and we've had some issues with people getting ticketed for that 4-hour period, staff would recommend changing that from a 20-hour parking to 24-hour parking. It would be signed no parking from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. one day during the week, and that'll coordinate with the street department's schedule on cleaning parking lots. And again, this went to the Downtown Park Committee, which we didn't have a quorum, but again, those that were in attendance did support it, so staff would recommend approval.
Thank you, Troy. Questions from the council?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Greg Schultz to approve. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave Burbank. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved also. Moving down to 3.3.3, Resolution 102-16, the parking restriction in public parking lot number 4. Kyle? Back to Troy.
Yep, and this is just east of the new Northgate Apartments. The east side of the lot is already signed for 24 hours because that part of the parking lot has always been in place. The other side was newly constructed as part of the apartment project, and so we want to keep the whole lot 24-hour parking. The Northgate Apartments do have underground parking for every tenant would have one underground parking as well as one service parking lot, private parking lot that would not need any of this public parking. So this is really intended for the workers and the tenants of other units in that area. And before the apartment project, I mean, this area had a lot of parking, and so we would request to change that to 24-hour parking. Again, there would be a 4-hour period sometime during the week that would be no parking, so that we could get in there and clean it out. So staff would recommend approval of this zone change, or this parking change request.
Thank you, Troy. Questions from the council? Kevin?
The only thing I would ask with this, Troy, is before the apartment complex was built, that was used for parking for the blast. And so if we could somehow monitor that parking lot during sometimes next summer, just to make sure that there is some parking available for that type of business. I don't know how we can do that, but I just want to make sure that, you know, they did lose quite a bit of parking in that area, and I just want to make sure that that people can still support that business.
Yeah, we can do that. We can notify Northgate Apartments too to make sure that all their tenants are using the private parking too to kind of free up as much space as possible.
What is the council's wishes on this?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Greg Schultz to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Nate Dodson. Any further discussion here? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved also. Moving down to 3.3.4, Resolution 103-16 to authorize feasibility report for 2017 North Cedar Avenue project. And this will go to Kyle.
We are planning to start the project, or start the process for reconstructing North Cedar Avenue from Front Street to North Street, and there are assessments planned as part of that project. So the first step on assessment project is to have council order a feasibility report. So this is the first of 3 tonight, and this would be for the North Cedar Avenue project. We expect that this there'll be some underground work on the water main and the sewer and the storm, and then be replacing that with a new concrete street. It was originally constructed in 1944. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. And with that, any questions from the council? Greg?
I know you have, but I'm asking again if we had any response from the railroad company. That crossing is a very, not a good one.
We have made contact with the engineering department since we talked, and we've opened that dialogue with them. It never goes quickly, but hopefully we can get that improved. So,
Thank you.
we're trying.
Thank you. Any other questions? What is the council's wishes?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Jeff? Brent. Svenby to approve. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Greg Schultz. Any further discussion here? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved also. Now down to resolution 3.3.5, resolution 104-16 to authorize feasibility report for 2017 street and utility project. And back to Kyle.
This is the same authorizing feasibility for assessments, proposed assessment project. This is our catch-all project, and the preliminary streets that would be included would be Radel Place, 13th Street Northeast, 12th Street Northeast, Mound from Franklin to Selby, Bryan Avenue Southwest, Martin Street Southwest, Valley Avenue Southwest, Cindy Lane Southwest, and then we're including the Godfather's Alley that's been discussed a number of times. And then there's also an alley between Agnes and Academy that starts at Lincoln and ends at Chambers that you may have noticed last year we posted no trucks because it's in bad shape. So this would investigate the repairs to those streets, and we'll be bringing those feasibility reports back in December and early January for council consideration. So with that, we recommend approval.
Thank you. Questions from the council?
Now, on the Godfather's Alley project, they were requesting concrete, correct?
The cost of that will be shown also.
Okay.
My recommendation has been bituminous, and we are looking at a heavier section, and I think we can address some of the concerns of the adjacent property owners by beefing that up a little bit. So we'll show the normal costs, the additional bituminous costs, and the concrete costs, and make a recommendation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the council?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Kevin Rainey to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Nate Dodson. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved also. Moving down to Resolution 105-16 to authorize feasibility report for 2017 Lamond Road project, and back to Kyle.
We're going to take another run at Lamond Road next year, so we'd like to update the feasibility report that was previously done. One thing that we may consider adding, and I don't know if it'll fit or not with the project, is to go from the bridge to 24th Avenue on the west side of I-35. It is different construction, and the accessible costs might not work out because of that, but we will take a look at the cost to go all the way to 24th Avenue. And so this will be paid for a combination of assessments and municipal state aid. The sanitary sewer and water main are they're relatively new out there, so we won't be addressing those. And staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Kyle. And questions from the council? Dave.
Troy, can you refresh my memory on the discussion regarding sidewalks on the north side of that?
Well, it is on our sidewalk and trail plan to extend the trail out there. So that would be part of this discussion, is how far you take it. Probably more likely that you would take it to the entrance of
Leo Rudolph.
the park there, and maybe you go up to the driveway for the country club, but the bridge over, you wouldn't be able to have a designated area so it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to extend it beyond that point.
Okay, that was the calls I had if it was going to go to the park and stop there or go beyond it.
Yeah, we could take it up to country club driveway if you wanted to.
Okay.
For those that wanted to use it for that.
Okay, thanks.
On the west side, we'd look at a paved shoulder, like a 12-foot driving lane and a 4-foot paved shoulder. Obviously, the bridge isn't going to allow for sidewalk or anything at this time, like Troy mentioned. But.
Any further discussion? What is council's wishes on this one?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Dave Burbank to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Greg Schultz. Any further discussion there? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. Now moving on down to public comment, and if anyone wishes to speak on any item that is not on the agenda, please step forward to the mic and sign in, and we will allow you 2 minutes to speak. Seeing none, we will move on to council comment, and we will start with Brent Svenby.
Just want to wish everyone a safe Thanksgiving next week, and remember that the Saturday, November 26th, is Small Business Saturday, so I want to urge people to stay local and shop our local businesses in Owatonna.
Thank you. Nate.
Nothing to add this evening.
Jeff?
Want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and drive safely. Chris, Coffee with the Council is supposed to be Saturday. Are we still doing that or not?
This Saturday?
Yes, correct. That's what's on our calendar here.
Well, I think we should reschedule.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay, Greg?
Just like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Dave?
The same, happy Thanksgiving and drive safe if you have to be on the roads.
Kevin?
Happy Thanksgiving. Reminder, winter ordinances will now be taking effect. So be aware of which side of the street you're parking on. And then also, congratulations to the OwatonnaCity football team. What a great win Friday night against all odds, or Saturday night, I should say, and hopefully they get us a win this Friday. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to depart here a little bit. I'm going to go to Aaron, our student representative. If you have anything you'd like to say?
I was asked by the mayor and Kevin to talk about, I asked and talked to my peers about the past election and asked their thoughts and concerns and stuff and how they think it will affect us, and every single person said that they were very disappointed and they are scared for their future and of women, their friends of color, and LGBT friends. And the first day back, there were a lot of people crying, and there were several people that were wearing Trump shirts and Trump flags and were asked to take them off but refused to. So they were, people I asked were concerned because they think that all these people think they can get away with anything. And yeah, but on a lighter note, go to the game on Friday at US Bank Stadium. It's at 2.
Very good. Thank you. Mayor, Tom.
And thank you for that. You know, it's always interesting because we think we know what the younger generation is thinking, but until they speak up and let us know that. So thank you for that report. I really, truly appreciate it. And I'd just like to thank all the citizens of Owatonna for turning out to vote, and thanks for putting faith in me for another 4-year term. And Les, I'm sorry that it went the way it did, and you're truly going to be missed come January from the City Council.
Thank you. Thank you. Chris?
I have nothing.
Well, from my standpoint, thank you for 21 wonderful years of being able to do this for you. And remind you that we got a winter parking ordinance coming into effect today, and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. So with that, look for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
A motion by Kevin Rainey to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Greg and Nate. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.